Let's head down to Nick's house and check out the old nothing fancy, something fancy Suzuki, and we'll see what he's working on right now. He's throwing some OneTons under it, so let's go see how that's working out for him. Oh man, I hate cutting tabs with hand. By hand, that's the worst. That's shop life right there. So here's Nick's fancy Atlas. It's looking mint. It's running off the same old Suzuki motor. And then he's done some 4-link action here, which is looking super snazzy. It's a 14 volt. And he's got a Dana 60 to go in the front too. Your welds look way nicer than mine. We could show off mine. They're way worse. That's a very nice weld. You should be proud of yourself, sir. Piston, don't look at the blue light. Don't look at the blue light. Don't look at the blue light. Oh yeah, you got her that time. So Nick's gonna cut one more tab over there, and then we can tack the shock in on the passenger side. He's got those 14-inch air shocks over there. It's Fox, it looks like, and 14 bolt, 5/3/8 welded. First move is to finish up the back and get that all figured out before it's time to spin it around, start cutting up the front. But he's moving along. This thing is gonna be a beast. It's gonna have the same drivetrain, the same axles as my rig, running through an Atlas, and weighing 1,500 pounds less than my rig. It's gonna be fun as hell. I can't wait to send Nick to do some bushwhacking with those new tires. Nick bought those things, and they are gonna just be wicked. 40-inch straps. It's probably gonna be my next tires. They are not cheap anymore. Nothing cheap anymore though, as we all know. Well, that's the last thing you gotta do really, is the tabs for the shocks in the rear, and then you can finish up the rear frame, and then you're gonna spin it around.
Yeah. Ty's building me a gas tank right now.
Oh, and it's gonna be right where you want it.
Yeah, I measured it.
Well, we're heading back from Nick's house. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me there. He was working hard while I was just standing there distracting him. But it's looking like the 1-ton project on the nothing fancy Suzuki is going really well. 14 bolts hung in there. It's got the shocks we just figured out, lined them up. So rear end is almost done. Just gonna have to build a little bit more of a basket for his fuel tank and his tool bag and whatnot, but moving forward. And his front axle, his Dana 60, is coming back from the gear guy, hopefully next week. So he'll be able to start working on the front end real soon. And we were here a couple weeks ago, and we did a little walkthrough, but it wasn't a full video. So I'm back, and let's check out where Nick has got to. He's been hauling ass on this thing. So last time we were here, we got the rear set up. He got the shocks in, got the toolbox all together, and now we're working on placement of the front. He had to cut a ton of steel out of the front because Suzuki life, but to fit the 4-link in there and the 60. But let's take a look and see what's going on this thing. So you can see he got her finished up. We got the 4-link, Heim suspension, square tube lower links, the air shocks in. That's what we were working on last time we were here. And he got the toolbox all ready to go. We have to go get the old tailgate, which we left on the Any Winch Way trail. We'll have to go get that back because we need to make a new tailgate for this bad boy. 14 bolt, 5/3/8, 40-inch straps, Maxxis sticky trapdoors, dirty life rims. They're gonna be good. Got the motor mounted, and now we're taking some, well, I'm not really helping at all, but he's taking some measurements to figure out getting the front in. Also, look at this nice. I told him it should say something fancy, because once he's done, it's gonna be something fancy. But so we got to figure out front link mount locations. You can see how much of the frame he had to cut out of this thing, because once you start figuring out how to get, you're gonna get a 4-link. This is a Chevy Dana 60. He's got 5/3/8 in it, and he's gonna go 35 spline Yukon, 43/40 axles, super joints, same combo I have, and it's gonna be good. But pitter patter, you're making good time. You're faster than Sean. Exactly. Oh, and he got his nice diff cover. Exactly, you just gotta throw buckets and buckets of money at this thing. So he's rocking the island spec square tube lower links, Heims all the way through. So the truss is pretty much done. We're gonna figure out the brakes because they're looking a little bit haggard right now. But so we're not sure if they work. Clearly it was out of a mud truck because there's a mud jammed in there. But yeah, Nick's nothing fancy buggy, something fancy buggy. It's coming along real good. Look at that Atlas. These days those things cost about 4,000 maple leafs, I believe, which is a little bit crazy. I think it's $4,000 for a freaking Atlas these days, Canadian, isn't it?
Something like that.
That's silly. He's gonna be running toy U-joints. So he's a toy flange on here. So we need to figure out where the 4-link brackets are gonna fit around this motor, around the frame, but it's looking real good. I also like the Island Spec diff armor. Man, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. Well, weather's definitely different than the first video that I started filming this in late February with snow on the ground. It was about the coldest day of the year. Now it's August, and it's the hottest day of the year. But the Nothing Fancy rig is almost done. So let's take a final look at this thing so I can wrap this video up. Because talking to Nick, well, he's hoping that he's gonna have it ready when the off season's over. It's too dry right now for wheeling, so we're not out in the woods anyways. So it's shop time. 4 weeks, 6 weeks away from the rains, and let's get to see this thing in action. But let's take one final look at this thing so I can wrap up this video, because it's been 6 months in the works here. So Nick's fabbing on Driveshafts, and I'm here distracting him and talking over the grinder. But since last time we were here, front suspension's in. It's looking good. Oh, I like your motor, or your body mounts. I like how you didn't replace that.
Yeah. Love it on there now.
Oh, perfect. So you're solid mounted everywhere then?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. It's gonna rattle your butthole.
It is, yeah.
Matching corbos. Got to figure out some street sign floor. Still got to go in. So you made the drive shaft, the rear yesterday. Or sorry, he made the rear this morning. Now he's working on the front shaft. He doubled his fuel tank. The big tall skinny tank, super good for wheeling, because when you tip over, you're always picking up fuel. I also, of course, had to fab them up a Nothing Fancy decal for the back of this thing. It's even got paint on it. What's that rad out of? Is that a Suzuki rad, or that's just
an aftermarket rad, believe it or not, for a Volkswagen Scirocco.
Scirocco rad, eh?
Yeah, it had the
that's fancy
ports on the right side, and it was super narrow. Like it just fit inside the.
That's big and thick though, so it's gonna cool really well.
Yeah.
24-inch carry on. Shifter's mocked up. So he's got to get the seat in. Got to do the floors. Finish up the plumbing. And then we just have to wait for it to rain, because it's too dry. It's too dry outside for wheeling right now. So this is sitting with full bump. Looks like a damn race car. I'm really looking forward to going wheeling with Nick in this thing. Looking like a race car. Here's another cool project that's on the Never Never plan. We'll film that one day. He's still running the Suzuki motor. I believe it's the 1.8. He's talking about how he wants to eventually get an Ecotech. He's got different bell housings up there. So when he finds the right Ecotech, or when he gets tired of the combo he's got going on here, he's going to throw one of those in there. We know they're not the very best choice, but they're cheap and they're plentiful, and that's kind of what we like. This thing is going to be an absolute beast. We were just talking about him going and getting it weighed, because I'm super curious to know what this race car is really going to weigh in the end. We should put some guesses down, and then we'll find out. I bet it's going to be 3,000 pounds, 3,200 maybe. 1-tons are heavy, but everything else is pretty loose, light. So it's going to be about 2 inches taller from here. We don't go for a ton of up travel. when you're rock crawling, because we're not going fast. So can't wait to see Nick finish this thing off. All right, Nick's gonna finish up his drive shaft. I'm gonna head back to the house, and we're gonna wrap this video up. Well, next time you see this thing, we'll have it on the trail, and I'll do a full walkthrough video when it's all tidied up and you guys can actually pick it apart. Anyways, boys, cheers.